Okay, cool, I'm live. It's a bit of a delay. Okay, so I'm going to use this then to talk to you. Are your Amazon sales where you want them to be? So first of all, this video is not going to be very long, like 15 to 20 minutes, probably more like 15, 16 minutes. Yeah, I'm making it a little bit later than I normally do. So anyway, I figure I'd get to it. So are your Amazon sales where you want them to be? So I think if you ask most Amazon resellers, they're going to say no, unless it's maybe, December or January or August or September, and you're a big time bookseller, or you focus on books, you send in a lot of books, you have you don't have to have a big inventory, but you consistently send in books and you sell a lot during those times, then those are probably times when you're going to say, yeah, they are where I want to be. Of course, I always want a little bit more. If you make 300 sales in a month, if you make 50 sales, you want 100. If you make 100, you want 200, etc. If you make 1,000 sales, if you make 10,000 sales, you probably still want more. I think that's just the human nature, human condition, etc. Hey Terry, no, exactly. So I think that that's just whatever business it is, whether it's Amazon or reselling or some other completely unrelated business. Um, that's pretty much always going to be the answer. But for me personally, I'm following, sort of the plan I set forth for the beginning of this year. We're now into month 3. Well, yeah, almost halfway, well, more than halfway through March. So pretty soon we'll be in April and the first quarter will be over. But I'm following the path that I have envisioned, which for me personally, everyone's going to have a different, plan or path or whatever, maybe just doing the same thing. But for me, it's been focusing more on Amazon because last year I did not focus on as much on it. I got, I think, too caught up in eBay and a little down on Amazon because of all the fee changes and also the split shipments. And I kind of felt like I wanted to do more eBay, and I also just didn't want to do as much Amazon. So, but now with certain changes at Amazon where the long-term storage fee is going away, and for me anyway, the split shipments, I'm not really getting them as badly as I used to. Doing private mode in Exceller list, and I'm getting like today I did a shipment and I am getting about one or two, well, not one is on a split, so one split, like 2 different warehouses today. 84 items, and 10 went to one warehouse and 74 went to the other, and the other warehouse was in the same state. So I'm not confident that's going to continue, but fingers crossed. Today, here, I'll switch over and show you. Today I was doing some listing, and here's some stuff I already wrapped up, and with the handy scanner, and so that's some of the stuff that I've already listed. I only listed 4 items at that point, but I had a whole bunch more to list. As you can see, I had 80, I think it ended up being 84 that I listed. Those are all for FBA right there. So the one pile on the left is just normal cases, and the one on the right was was ones that I had to wrap, and these are eBay. This is stuff that I've gone through. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but this is all stuff for eBay that I've pulled out of boxes, and some stuff I just got out of the Gaylord as well. So and those are the shipments from over the weekend. I ended up having a total of from Saturday, Sunday, late Friday till I had one today. It was about 10 sales between eBay and merchant fulfilled. Most of them were eBay. I think 8 of them or so. Let me go back. So that's partly what I was doing, this morning, getting those shipments ready, and then what do you call it? Doing a bunch of listing for FBA. All that stuff was going to FedEx. Here, I'll show you. Oh, you're gonna have to see it again. Hold on, I was not prepared. So this is just the boxes that I had 2 splits. So I had a small box It's going, I'm not sure where it's going. I can't remember. MW something, I think, is the, yeah, it had 10 items, and this one had 74, the bigger box, which is going really close to where I live. Like, I don't know, hour and a half or whatever, drive away. And so I dropped those off at FedEx just like an hour ago, and those won't go out till tomorrow, unfortunately. But anyway, so the point is that you know, following my plan to focus. I can't remember where I was going with that, but to focus on more on Amazon side of things than on eBay. So part of what I've been doing though is I accumulated last year like 5 relatively big boxes, you know, medium-sized boxes, pretty big boxes of a lot of CDs and a lot of other stuff that I was gonna intended on reselling on eBay. And I think they were sitting there in the storage unit for like a year or so. And I'm finally now to the point to where I've gone through all of those boxes, and those items, CDs, and other stuff you saw on the table there in that little video that I shot today were all for eBay. I don't know how many are there, maybe like 70 or something. You know, there's a good amount of CDs, but there's some audio books. So there's CDs, there's a lot of CDs, there's audiobooks, there's video games, there might be like one piece of software. I think there's like a book, a VHS tape. But so there's a good mix, and so that's the end of all those boxes I had. So I wanted to, and one of the piles there was from the new Gaylord. So what I ended up doing was going through all those boxes and just not even bothering listing CDs that were that I was going to price too low. Basically, I'm trying to keep everything above $10, which might be still low for a lot of people anyway. But I want to try to go even higher than $10, and just, if it's $10, but it seems like it's going to be something that's going to take a long time to sell, then I probably won't sell it. I'll probably try to get more towards like $15 and up, and hopefully even closer to $20. Probably 15 to 20 would be a nicer, like, lower range for me for eBay, so that the stuff that I'm listing, even though it might take a little longer, will sell for more money. So each time I get a sale, I know it's not going to be a smaller amount of money. So I've been having to get through all of that just so that, you know, I can get caught up with eBay, so that as I go through, what I want to do is get to the point, which really soon, I'm almost there, to where when I go through a Gaylord, I always end up pulling out some stuff for eBay. It's not very much though, and it's, like I said, only stuff that's going to be a little higher priced, and that stuff I will list on eBay, and it might be 12 items from a Gaylord, it might be 25, but it's not going to be like 100 or 50 or anything like that. It's going to be a small amount. So that's what I want, is to be a small amount that I can handle. So, you know, as I continue to just do this by myself, so that I don't have, oh my gosh, you know, I have all this stuff that I listed at Amazon, and then I've got 50, 60, 70 other things to list on eBay. Instead, just the stuff that's I feel is going to sell, and sell for more money. And I will, when I have time, like, you know, at night or on the weekend, or whatever things, you know, sometimes I just I can't go sort, I can't list Amazon, so I'll do eBay, however it works out. So I'll try to get through that, you know, so that they don't pile up. So as I get them, I'll list them. Whoops. Terry says, I just have to remember that all the frustrations with Amazon don't equal the frustrations of working a regular job. I totally agree. I haven't had a regular job in a long time, but I do remember I did have a lot of different jobs. And I mean, that could be a whole nother video. But I mean, just, you know, having a job versus Amazon. But yeah, for sure. As long as our accounts are active and everything, then all the issues that Amazon gives us are really, you know, nothing compared to having to deal with a boss, or, you know, having to work certain hours and be there and not have the flexibility of selling on Amazon. As long as you can make enough money to support yourself and then some, then, you know, it's a kind of a no-brainer. You know, everybody, of course, sells on Amazon for different reasons. Some people do it full time, some people do it part time, some people do it just for extra money, for fun, etc. Some people want to become rich at it, and some do. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, that's kind of my path. Is now that I'm almost like caught up with eBay, and I'm not even gonna do that eBay stuff. I'm only gonna fit it in like, oh, I'm gonna do the pictures. Oh, I have this time right now. It makes more sense for me to do this than to, I don't have the time. I can't go to the can't go to the storage unit, so I'm gonna just take all the pictures and then be ready for the next listing process, that kind of thing. So that I can spend the majority of my like prime work hours, which are when I have the time in the morning from like 9, well, basically from 9 to like 1:30. Of course, I have to eat in there, but those are kind of like the prime hours for me. Probably like the 3 hours in the morning, and then after like an hour or so, I'm not including this video, but basically the morning are the best hours for me to do sorting and listing because I can focus the most and get things done. So those are kind of the prime work hours. Oh, Terry sent me homework. Let's see. Sent me an ISBN. Sudden mischief. Wait, Terry, is this the audio cassette? What? Oh. No, it's 14 million rank, right? Is it the audio cassette or where am I? Is that the one? Sudden mischief? Hardcover, paperback. Anyway, yeah, so spent the time catching up on all those boxes, paring down. Yeah, let me see if. Oh, so it's the audio cassette, $99. Jeez. I don't know what is key, or what does it say in. I don't have my cell phone. I mean, I would just do merchant fulfilled. Hold on, even look at who's selling it. Wonderbook. These are all bigger sellers. I mean, Wonderbook is a 338,000. Let's see. The price was really low though. Back in it's jumped up, but back in what is this? September, October was $26, and then it dropped. It was all the way at $6 used, starting in August. I mean, without the sales rank, though, it's tough to, won't let me. I mean, I would probably not sell it. Those prices are probably inflated, would be my guess. Brand new, okay. Hold on. I mean, it doesn't hurt to list it. I would do it merchant fulfilled, though. I would do it probably merchant fulfilled, but those prices look inflated. I mean, if I found it in a Gaylord, I would probably not list it just because of the rank. But that's, that's me. Okay. Yeah. Let me go back here. So as of now, I have, so I'm trying to get, let me see, how long are we into the video? We're almost 15 minutes. Jeez. I'm probably gonna have to cut the video soon. So I've got 2 more Gaylords of CDs to go, and 1 more of books. Hopefully I will get through those in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to take me a little bit longer because my wife's going out of town for work, and so I won't have as much leeway and whatnot. I still have those time in the morning, but anyway, hopefully the next 2 to 3 weeks I have, like, I don't know, 35, 40 merchant fulfilled CDs and audiobooks to list. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. Maybe tomorrow. And then I've got 2 more Gaylords and another book Gaylord. The other thing is like, so I've gone through that Gaylord I just did. I finished it in terms of sorting, but I've got, what ends up happening is I have, yeah, go ahead and take the risk, Terry. It doesn't hurt. I have, so what ends up happening is as you go through the Gaylords, you get all these loose CDs, loose discs. So sometimes they're mostly CDs, sometimes there's a lot of DVDs. In this one, there was a ton of loose DVDs, and then a lot of loose CDs, and then a lot of empty CD cases. A ton, like several hundred I found this time, and I found a lot of loose CDs. So now I'm looking at those, and you know, there's ones that have the CD and the back art and the jewel case, but not the insert or the front artwork. And there's other ones that have anyway, variety of that. So basically I look at that and I'm like, is it worth my time to go through it and try to match them up? And it kind of depends on how I feel. Because I did take the time this last Gaylord, and I didn't find very many. I mean, I found a decent amount, but majority I did not find, because what ends up happening is a lot of those CDs were just donated or ended up in the Gaylord without discs in them. So I think overall it's probably not worth it. Yeah, but you know, that's what ends up happening when you're doing bulk is with the CDs. With books, you know, clearly that's not an issue. It's a lot. That's why books are so much quicker to sort, whereas with CDs, it's a little bit more time consuming. So if you're thinking about doing bulk CDs, take that into consideration, that you're going to end up with all of these loose CDs and DVDs and empty cases, and should you match them up or not, probably doesn't make sense, because, you know, I pulled out what I'm sending 84 CDs, audiobooks, etc. for FBA, and the potential profit is probably like, I can't remember what it was, $400 plus, 450, something like that. And then I have all the merchant fulfilled to list, and then I have another 12 or 15 that I'm listing on eBay. So you know, I'm going to be making, I think actually after COGS my profit was like 330 FBA, and then merchant fulfilled, I'm not sure yet, probably at least another 150 or something. So we're talking like 500 profit after cost of goods, excluding eBay. So there's a couple of high price stuff there in eBay. So, you know, after all is said and done, maybe, you know, $400 or $500. So is it worth it to, is it worth it to go through that stuff? I don't know. Well, I think I know it's probably not worth it. I mean, if you find one high value CD in there, then it was worth it. But if you don't, I mean, this last time I found probably a dozen or 15 that I matched up, and then when I scanned them, maybe 1 or 2 actually that I could resell on Amazon. So, you know, was it worth the effort? Because it doesn't take like 5 hours to go through it, but it can take an hour, hour and a half. So yeah, so those are the kind of things that you have to make a decision about when you're doing bulk. So that, and then I found a ton of DVDs, like in Vietnamese language, like literally hundreds of them, probably, I don't know, 300. And so I've been trying to figure out what they are. I actually went and talked to somebody who is Vietnamese, and they said they're like classical CD. They literally said they're classical CD. Even though they look like DVDs, they said they're classical CDs for old people, which I don't know. Anyway, so that's, you know, you come across random stuff, and I can just make it simple and just donate all that stuff to a thrift store, or, you know, I can try to make a little money off of it. So we'll see. But anyway, so then I have those other 2 Gaylords, full Gaylords to go through of CDs and then books. So hopefully the next couple of weeks, I'll continue to, you know, grow my inventory. So as of this month, so last month I had 234 units sold in February, and as of right now, so 5:50 p.m. on March 18th, I have sold 154. So that is, what is that, 80? 34 and then 40. Yeah. So that's 80, difference of 80, and there's I think 12 or 13 days left in the month. Let me see. There's 13 days left excluding today, so 13 and a half. So I should be able to hit that, if not more, if I have some good sales days. But yeah, so that's kind of where I am now. Dylan says, what's your opinion on eBay getting rid of 30-day listings? I don't know about this. 30-day listings and making all fixed price listing. Oh, I didn't know they were doing that. I would say I don't like it because I prefer to every 30 days get the notifications that my items need to be relisted, and then I can go in there and reprice them, versus if they're just good till canceled and I have to remember to do it. I won't remember and it'll just keep flipping over, and then I won't change the price or make any changes at all. So to me, that's my initial response to that. I didn't know that they were getting rid of it. But if they get rid of it, what are you going to do? We're going to have to go along with it. But that's why I like the 30-day listing, so that I can actually just change the prices. Anything I need to change, usually it's just the price, but if there's anything else I need to change in there, I can do it once it's time to. That's my opinion. And I watched I don't know if any of you participated in it, but I watched, you guys probably know Greg Murphy is, some of you might, the bulk seller out of Ohio. He does this weekly show, and he had a guy on there. Anyway, he had a guy on there who's a bulk seller in Denver, and bookseller, and who does majority merchant fulfilled, has a 6,000 square foot warehouse, and was inspirational in that way. You know, has multiple workers, employees, I don't know how many. And oh, okay, all right, Dylan, it's good, thank you for letting me know. I didn't know about that. And so it was kind of inspirational, you know, seeing someone who's grown. And he started way before I did, like 2008, by himself selling books on Amazon. But, you know, I only started it 4.5 years ago. But, you know, he went from doing that to now many years later, having a bulk business that now he's opened like a bookstore, which is like a literacy program, part of a literacy program, all this stuff. So, you know, when I see stuff like that, and I hear people talk about or I read about people's bulk book businesses, I feel like I'd like to go big with books, but I'm, you know, worried or scared about not making enough on Amazon, and that it not working out because of that I would have to go through so many Gaylords, and it would only really work if I got help with sorting and made it a much bigger, you know, situation. Because what I was thinking is the storage unit I have right now, I just saw one that they had the same size a couple down from me. I think they might have filled it now or whatever, but I'm not sure. But they usually have one opening here and there. And I was thinking, well, I could get another storage unit, same size, I assume same cost, unless they're making a deal, which they probably won't. But which would then, because I'm paying $385 or something, so that would be like 7, like 70 a month, which is still less than leasing like 1,000 square foot warehouse, and then I'm still paying month to month, so I can always give it up. And thought about like, well, I can fit like 10 Gaylords in there, maybe order like 8 at a time and go through them fast, you know, by myself initially, try to go through one or two a day, so I can get through like 5 or 6 or more a week. This would be really like going fast. And, you know, I have the guy to come back and get them. So, you know, if I order like 8 at a time, which isn't too expensive, I'm actually not sure how much that would be. So So that means I would spend $640 for 8 Gaylords. That's including the delivery cost. And let me go back to there. Including the delivery cost and yeah. And so out of 8 Gaylords, you know, how many books could I pull to sell on Amazon, either FBA or both FBA and merchant fulfill? The last book when I had, book Gaylord, I think I pulled like 40 something out between the two, and I think I ended up making like maybe, I don't know, what was it, $150 or something. So it really depends, and I know it ends up becoming like an average where some are better than others. And I've thought about this ever since my source told me that he was willing to take my duds and I could get a $10 credit. So technically every time, if I ordered 8 at a time, that what was that number I had? 640, you know, take $80 off that, so it would end up being $560. So I'd have to make off of 8 Gaylords on Amazon, try to make more than $560. That's excluding eBay books, because I would pull some certain books for eBay, and that's excluding trying to make money off of other books in different ways. But mostly just focusing on Amazon until I can, you know, make money off of those excess books, good condition books that, you know, fiction, adult fiction, kids books, sci-fi, certain nonfiction titles, memoirs, and all various things like that, that would be good in, like, you know, a bookstore type of a situation. And, you know, because I could get through them relatively fast, and then you could come back and haul them away and give me a fresh, you know, batch of 8, just as an example. I think, like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't know until I tried, right? But then if you know, you got to pay the extra expense to have the space as well. But if I can get through, you know, let's say 8 every week and a half, so I could reorder. I could get like 3 orders about a month, roughly. You know, would I make enough? I don't know. Pat says, I think CDs are the direction to continue. In my opinion, the gating makes the category more appealing. I understand. I totally understand. That's my issue with books on Amazon is, if you go the volume route, you basically have to send in the faster, lower profit books for FBA. Otherwise, you can't make as much money as you need to make. So that is definitely an issue. I do see certain people with CDs on Amazon, FBA, certain accounts, certain sellers that there's probably like, I don't know, half a dozen that I can't think exactly of their name right now, but if I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of them, that are always undercutting. And, you know, that's just part of the deal, unfortunately. But when it comes in comparison to books, it's completely different. You know, when I send in books, I'm always amazed by how many people undercut and how many other sellers there are that jump on the listing. So that's why, Pat, that's why I've been doing so many CDs, because I make more per Gaylord, and there's less competition as well. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, whether it's a Murphy's or whether it's another a bookseller, I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, I've been exposed to a guy, you know, the first source I had for tons of CDs was a bulk bookseller who lived near me, actually. And he ended up, well, anyway, he didn't have a huge operation. He had like 4,000 square feet. It was like the corner of a warehouse, and he was going through a lot of Gaylords a day. I think he was doing like double-digit Gaylords, and had maybe at his peak, maybe, you know, 4 employees or so. He didn't have a ton, but he had 2 guys running that, you know, going through it. He had a Gaylord dumper. He had the table, going through it really quickly and scanning. Had, I think, Nito scanner or whatever on the computer with their scanner. So I've seen it on a smaller scale, not on a huge scale where there's like a conveyor belt and they're getting through like, I don't know how many Gaylords in a day, maybe like 1 or 2 an hour or something. But so I've seen it, and I still like. I mean, I like the idea of it because you can grow big. You can potentially do more because you go through so much volume that you can, you can sort. So the stuff that you can't sell on Amazon, and maybe you're doing eBay or not. So the good adult fiction, the good, I mean, good condition adult fiction, the good condition kids books, sci-fi, whatever, you can then like throw them into other Gaylords, recycle the stuff that's no good, the old stuff that no one's going to read, the stuff in bad condition, and the other stuff you can have those in Gaylords and potentially sell those off wholesale to other people, to bookstores, etc. So there's a lot of other ways to earn money. You can open, you can have your own sales, book sales. Of course, it all takes labor, it all takes effort, it all takes planning, but I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to go just yourself and go for higher priced items, to make a higher average sale price versus volume, to each their own, right? Dylan says, do you do sourcing other than Gaylords, library sales, thrifts, eBay auctions? So as of right now, I will occasionally go to thrift stores. There's a couple that I like. My favorite ones in my area that I will go to from time to time, and I haven't gone to garage sales or estate sales in a while. Estate sales I should be keeping up on because those can be really great, but I just haven't. I'm just busy enough with the bulk. So yeah, and library sales, book sales, there's one that I went to last year, I think a couple times, but that was it. I haven't been to any others. So for the most part, it's just bulk, and then occasionally I'll do some thrift stores like in between when I'm getting an order type of a thing. I made some videos probably like a month or so ago about that, where I was hitting up a bunch of thrift stores and still finding good books. So I enjoy going out to thrift stores because there's still great books out there. I mostly just do the books though, not CDs, because I just see so many CDs that I get kind of burnt out, and also don't have enough time. So I love to find the quality books out there at thrift stores, but I pay more on average. It varies, depends on the thrift store. Some are cheaper. The lowest, like there's one that it's 50 cents, but I don't find that many there for paperbacks and $1 for hardbacks. There's some where you can get as little as like 35 cents for a book. So it depends, but yeah, mostly it's just bulk. Yeah, so if you guys have any other questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to end the video. I've got to go and help with the kids and dinner and everything. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a plan going forward. If you enjoy the way you're doing your business, if you're making enough money, if you're happy, content with it, keep doing it. If you want to make a change, make a plan. I decided to make a plan to go more heavy into Amazon, to build that income up more, versus going heavier into eBay. It's too time consuming. So I want to use the quicker processes of Amazon to build it up, and that will enable me to do more things. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Please give me a thumbs up, a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment below if you feel so inclined. I might not be able to make a video tomorrow. We'll see. I might be doing something with my daughter, so I might not have the opportunity to, but if I have the time, I'll make one. Otherwise, it might not be until Wednesday. So ask me any questions, guys. If you want to see a video about something in particular, I'll be happy to try to do that. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep booking.